Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's youngest son. Handsome and private Knox Jolie-Pitt is the youngest son of actress Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Recently, the 17-year-old has been appearing more frequently alongside his mother at events and outings. His appearance has drawn much attention. Knox is often seen accompanying his mother Angelina Jolie on shopping trips in Los Angeles. His sister Vivienne often joins them as well. The famous trio was recently spotted enjoying a productive shopping day. Angelina looked elegant in a black dress paired with a long camel-colored coat, sunglasses, and loose hair. Vivienne wore a pullover hoodie with wide-leg striped pants and sneakers. Knox opted for a casual look with a short-sleeved t-shirt, khaki cargo pants, and sneakers. His appearance stood out, earning compliments for his strong, striking looks and for inheriting the beauty of both parents. Born in 2008, Knox Jolie-Pitt leads the most private life among Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's 6 children. He avoids social media and rarely appears in public. Knox was born in Nice, France, as one of the couple's twins. His full name is Knox Leon Jolie-Pitt, named after Brad Pitt's grandfather, Hal Knox Hillhouse. From the moment of their birth, Knox and his twin sister, Vivienne, became the focus of media attention. Magazines, People, and Hello! Famously purchased their first photos for $11 million, all of which the Jolie-Pitts donated to charity. After his parents separated in 2016, Knox has lived with his mother in Los Angeles. He is currently the only child who has not spoken out against his father in the ongoing divorce battle, and, unlike most of his siblings, he has not dropped the Pitt surname. Knox shows little interest in the entertainment industry. Over 17 years, his only project was Kung Fu Panda 3, 2016, in which he voiced the baby panda, Cuckoo, alongside his mother and siblings, Pax, Zahara, and Shiloh. Unlike his brothers and sisters who frequently attend events with their mother, Knox rarely makes public appearances. According to page 6, both Knox and Vivienne are homeschooled to accommodate the family schedule. He has multiple tutors across different subjects, speaks several languages, learns musical instruments, practices martial arts, and takes robotics classes with his sister Shiloh. In 2018, Angelina revealed that Knox began flight lessons at age 9, proudly sharing her joy at her son's passion, which mirrored her own. Knox is also active in charitable causes, often joining his mother in meaningful projects. In 2019, he helped sell organic pet food to raise funds for charity, with the proceeds supporting dog rescue programs. On January 9th, Knox accompanied Angelina to shop for essentials such as food and bottled water. The Mr. and Mrs. Smith star explained she was stocking up supplies to help people affected by the devastating wildfires that had spread across Los Angeles since January 7th. She also offered her $25 million Los Feliz mansion as temporary shelter for displaced families. "I'm taking care of the people close to me and want to bring them home," Angelina shared. The 50-year-old actress also actively donated to firefighting efforts in the following weeks. Knox Jolie-Pitt, a name forever intertwined with both the glitter of Hollywood and the undercurrents within the family, once hailed as the royal household of world cinema. Yet behind the image of a celebrity child walking red carpets, is Knox merely a boy raised in the glow of stardom, or is he also a silent fragment in the complex story of love, power, and legacy between Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt? From the outside, that relationship may appear severed, but in truth, there remain invisible threads that continue to bind, making it difficult to untangle whether Knox is simply a child, or rather a mirror reflecting truths that neither Jolie nor Pitt can openly articulate. It is from this question that the journey of discovering everything about Knox becomes compelling, because it is not merely a personal biography, but part of a larger symphony, of Hollywood's soft power, of family values being redefined in the 21st century. Knox was born on July 12, 2008, in Nice, France, alongside his twin sister, Vivienne. The occasion was not only a private joy for a powerful couple, but also an international media spectacle. By then, the Jolie-Pitt family already included Maddox, Pax, Zahara, and Shiloh, each child carrying their own story, their own origin, their own thread in Jolie and Pitt's attempt to weave a multicultural, multi-ethnic family. With Knox and Vivienne as biological twins, a delicate balance was struck. While the older siblings drew attention through Jolie's humanitarian adoption journey, Knox and Vivienne reminded the world of bloodline, of a direct continuation from Jolie and Pitt themselves. Yet Knox has never been merely a copy of either parent. Brad Pitt once remarked that Vivienne resembles Angelina in both spirit and elegant appearance, while Knox is often described as inheriting more of his father's traits, introspective, drawn to music, and naturally inclined toward an inner life. Behind the spotlight, Knox has preferred to step back. After appearing with his family at major events, most notably at the Eternals premiere in London in 2021, he gradually retreated from the noise, choosing a quieter existence and cultivating private pursuits such as learning sign language. Still, in November 2024, Knox surprised many by joining his mother on the red carpet at the Governor's Awards in Los Angeles in support of Maria, a new film widely praised by critics. Though a seemingly small gesture, it was symbolic. And Knox, who normally chose seclusion appearing publicly, signaling both a deep bond with his mother and the emotional intersections that outsiders can only guess at. Knox Jolie-Pitt, then, is not simply the youngest of the Jolie-Pitts, but the embodiment of paradox within the relationship between Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. If Vivienne, by choosing to retain only the surname Jolie as she neared 18, made what has been read as a haunting silent declaration about family allegiance, then Knox represents another form of silence, not a public choice, but the quietude of a boy seemingly experimenting with his own path, refusing imposed definitions. Yet the question lingers, is that silence an act of escape, or rather a deliberate strategy to preserve a private space within a family whose every step has long been under public scrutiny? When speaking of the 8-year-long divorce between Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, the public often focuses on the courtroom drama, the disputes over assets, the accusations traded back and forth, the suspenseful delays. Yet, when the final ruling came at the end of 2024, what lingered was not the victory or defeat of two powerful stars, but the fate of their children. Among them, Knox and Vivienne emerged as particularly significant, not only because they are the youngest twins of the six, but because they were the last children still legally under the guardianship of both parents. The phrase "under guardianship" may sound like a dry legal detail, but placed in the broader context of the Jolie-Pitt breakup, it carries a very different weight. It transforms Knox and Vivienne into the center of tug-of-war, a kind of forced bridge that both Angelina and Brad, despite having gone their separate ways, must continue to share. While Maddox, Pax, Zahara, and Shiloh had already reached adulthood, free to decide the extent of their closeness or distance, Knox and Vivienne stood as living proof of a marriage broken, yet never entirely severed. In divorces, custody is often the most complex issue, not merely because of law, but because it entwines emotion, values, and the very definition of family. For Jolie and Pitt, custody had long been at the heart of their battle. When the court finally ruled that Knox and Vivienne would remain under the guardianship of both parents, it signified that, despite years of dispute, the legal and social framework still recognized the necessity of both parents' roles in their children's lives. Here, Knox and Vivienne are not just coexisting in two separate worlds, one of Jolie, one of Pitt, but are the very space where those worlds overlap, collide, and even contradict one another. Such a position inevitably shapes their growth. The question arises, how will Knox choose to define his identity within these opposing poles? His silence, his avoidance of the media, are these simply natural personality traits? Or are they a subtle form of self-defense against the ceaseless friction of family life? What is striking is that while Vivienne has recently drawn attention for choosing to retain only the surname Jolie as she nears 18, interpreted as a haunting, silent declaration of emotional allegiance, Knox has taken another path. No declaration, no public stance, only silence. If Vivienne resembles an exclamation mark, decisive, full of implication, then Knox is more like an ellipsis, trailing, unresolved, leaving questions unanswered. Knox's silence, then, is far from empty. It carries an unspoken weight. It provokes ambiguity. Is he avoiding or quietly shaping an independent identity that refuses the noise of declaration? In the context of divorce, the contrast between Knox and Vivienne highlights how each child responds differently to the same family fracture. They become two distinct mirrors, reflecting two ways of existing after rupture. Another key point lies in how the name Jolie-Pitt continues to persist through Knox and Vivienne. For the four older siblings, that name has gradually faded from public life. Maddox and Pax live independently, Zahara pursues her studies. Shiloh explores her own identity. But with Knox and Vivienne, the name remains tied to legal rulings, to custody, to the shared responsibility of both parents. It acts as a binding cord between Jolie and Pitt, ensuring that, even divorced, the shared brand endures through their youngest children. Against this backdrop, Vivienne's decision to keep Jolie as she nears adulthood stands out as a forceful act, as though she has cut the name in half, holding on to the part most intimate to her. Knox, by contrast, in silence, continues to carry Jolie-Pitt, becoming one of the last living links that keeps the name intact. In this sense, Knox is like the final gatekeeper of the symbolic existence of a family once admired by the entire world.